folks, Mara here. Welcome to the church that's always open, which is you, me, and nature, and that which feels good. Today's topic is going to be a little shorter. I'm heading out, but it's tune in, turn in, and tune up. So basically what this means, with so much going on outside us that's really, really, really challenging, it's important that we turn into our own guidance. We've been talking for quite a while about mastermind, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Our mastermind, our imagination, our spidey senses, whatever we want to call it, it's specifically built by the great creator for us. It's our mastermind. It guides us. It guides what's our life purpose. It guides the tools that we need to find our way. It helps us know when we're not feeling well, when we're not at ease. It's actually not that scary a thing, because it's a message that we're off. We're a little bit off balance. You know, something's gone off balance. Something's gone out of whack. We're diseased. If we let that disease go on so long, we do actually become diseased. We do. Right now, as I watch so many things are not certain. So many news media outlets are not certain. There's things going on in both sides that aren't understandable. There's things going on with every single one of us that might seem misunderstandable. I don't know even one relationship that hasn't changed through COVID. And not all for the worse, not at all. Some relationships have come right back into the fore, stronger than ever. I see those relationships, they're meant for the light. They're meant to build the light of love. They're meant to build that. Because I feel part of this, it's our own battles inside our own dark and light. If we think of this COVID experience more like Star Wars, maybe it's a little easier to see it. Like, you know, we all have battlings of our own best sides, our own not so good sides. The not good sides are stuff that we can work and grow, but there's so much more on the great sides. Our mastermind absolutely will guide our next step. Most important is we turn in and ask ourselves some kind of important, serious questions right now. Number one, what really matters? What really matters to you? And just be honest about that. Are you tending that which really matters to you? Sometimes if we're caregivers, we might not. Oh, I'll get to that. Oh, I'll get to that. But the truth is, are we tending to what matters to us? Because right now we need to be really strong in that. We are being called to a 2.0 experience. I highly recommend don't look back. Look back for all the tools that you can take with you. I've started to think of segment intending. And in this way, what I mean by segment intending is I'm going to take a shorter period of time, because in my brain freeze, I don't have as much a mental alacrity to plan longer than about a week, as I've said. And I'm sticking with it. It's been enough and it's comfortable. So I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with that. However, inside each of our own mastermind, if we turn in and tune up to what is really important to us, we will then get the next steps. Maybe we haven't spent as much time with our family or as much time with our friends. Maybe we've been watching too much news. Maybe we find ourselves doom scrolling. You know, there's so much misinformation out there that it's really, really, really important to have our sources be a little more something that we can really, really trust. You might be speaking with people who you feel are really well informed now and having different conversations. I wouldn't just read something or hear something and think, oh, that's it, that's the truth, because we just don't know. Where I do know the truth is right here in my own mastermind. When I'm upset, when I'm angry, I can't hear the signal as well. There's no shame, there's no harm. It's just the truth, though. If I'm in this place, I cannot hear the signal of my mastermind as well. Now, some people love the word mastermind. Some people love spidey senses, imagination, Holy Spirit, the great download, talking with the great creator, whatever languaging works for you to connect you to your higher self, to your heart, is a really excellent thing, because we will be called to take actions in certain ways in our life that are different. Some of us are really diving into the virtual world for our work, like really going there. Some of us are trying to regroup. All prayers up for the phase 4 people, and that's a lot of my friends. That's my husband, that's a lot of my friends. I am really holding for phase 4 people. Basically, it's about 93% of the entertainment industry. So what I'd love to ask folks who watch any of my talks, if you have an artist that you love, just send them, if you can swing it, just send them $20 on a GoFundMe. Someone I'd like to speak up for is Brian and Mary Beth Mays. They are constantly helping people. If you know them, I would love it if you donate to them. They're constantly raising money for people. And they are fabulous people out there who have done amazing work. So just adopt a couple of people, just a couple. And let us be super careful about what we're putting into our mind, into our heart. You will be able to tell if you're watching too much or having too much of someone's company. If it's negative, you'll start to feel tight. Maybe you get tight in your shoulders, maybe it's your chest, maybe it's in your stomach. But notice these signs. Where am I getting tight? Find exit strategies that are graceful before it gets heated. Because if we could all do just one less, maybe edgy comment, one less post that, maybe I'll just erase that. One less of something angry, and then free up one more of something good. That's only 2 action items, but imagine if we all did that. If we said, okay, I'm going to hold back on one angry thing, but I'm going to move a little more forward and do maybe 1, maybe 2 good things. And if you're having a really challenged day, take care of you. Because when you take care of you, you'll be back up then to do something great. I've so had to do that. Every day, I've really had to check in. What am I watching? Who am I calling? Like, am I being honest about my self-care work? Because when we turn in and tune up, for some of us, that's meditate. For anyone who's never meditated and feel like, I couldn't do that, there are many ways to try it. You can even do a thing called a walking meditation. So if you're out walking, you're just walking but thinking of an idea. It's really not, it's not that challenging a thing. But most important, if you're just starting to try it, just get still. And if you do just like a few breaths, just take a few breaths. That's really good. Make sure to praise the steps. Every step that you make forward, every step that you tune in, turn in and tune it up is so great. These little steps, they matter. And if we reach out to people who help us with these little steps, if somebody helps you with the little steps, turns out you're helping them too. Thank you for being with me right here. Every week I come on, I'm just so grateful to be with you because you help me. You really help me just stay as much in the light as possible. Because face it, guys, for those of us looking for the light, if we turn dark consciously, we have to be really conscious of that. When we choose to be light, what can come with it is some, kind of edgy darkness. Nobody is immune from that for as long as we're in human form. So go easy about that. We all are having opportunities. Absolutely. The other thing is, little hobbies. I am not expected to play this professionally anywhere ever. And yet I love her. But you know what I notice? She's kind of singing more lately. Little hobbies, they really help. They really help. And it's been fun. I carved her out just a little more, and she's playing a little better now. Because she's old. She's more than middle-aged. But little hobbies. Anything silly, 100% dive into it. Dive into it. The other thing is, let's not just accept certain sources, let's just be sure to touch base, A, B, and definitely reach across aisles to people that we can all have trusted conversations with, because that's just really, really great. That's going to help us through, because there is a lot going on, and some is so for the good, and some, I'm not sure. There's everything coming up in any of us. It's coming up to be healed, but it's coming up. It really is coming up. So that's okay. Let it up. Go easy when it comes. If it was something that hurt us going in, it's not going to be super wicked easy coming out. Doesn't mean anything's wrong. It means we're healing. But segment intending, let me talk a little bit more about that, because that's really helped me lately as I'm turning in more to tune up, to tune back up. Tuning up for me, basically as I turn in and tune up, I do have to be honest about the stuff that will get in my way of tuning that up. So some of the things I will definitely do, I will go to a place where I can safely vent with Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit can take a lot, and sometimes if we vent to Spirit and then we feel guilty, no, that's the place to vent. Like, Holy Spirit, this is how I'm feeling. It's not your way, I can tell. Show me, show me, show me, show me. And then just go sit still as best we can. And then we're all right. That's like seriously asking God to walk with us, as us, guide us in a way that's always available. The coolest thing, and I've loved this forever, about turning in to tune up is when we turn in, the signal of Holy Spirit and God's love is there, louder. And we hear it through the things that lift us up. Even with a little giggle, with a little silly. I made a new friend with a goat the other day. I was missing my animals. I go to the wild animals because they remind me about non-dualistic nature. Because us humans are battling with good and evil in ourselves, and it's wildly reflecting through the whole world. While this is a scary time, it's a fabulous time. It's the opportunity of true change, of really relighting things that we want to see shift. And what better place to do it than with the love of Holy Spirit? Now, when you're a soulful spiritual person, that's okay. We can reach out to the mainstream. Just go where they're at. We can just bring our light where they're at. And it doesn't have to be religious or spiritual or anything like that. It can be something simple as, oh, the lady in Dunkin's, I like your earrings. Oh, hey, did you notice? Or, a little act of kindness when we have the energy makes such a difference right now. We look at the world and sometimes it can feel just so overwhelming, like just plain too much. Bigger than us. But every one of us can do these small things every single week. And you'll start to see the shift. The conversations out here talking about Holy Spirit directly in mainstream is incredible. I cannot believe how incredible it is. Because it's so easy to talk about it. And before, it wasn't. It wasn't easy to talk about it. It was a little stiff, and now it's like, oh, you're a believer? Great. Bang, 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 we start to talk. I've had so many, I'd have to say, miraculous conversations during all this time of COVID. So, but we gotta turn in, turn back to the place where there is love. Turn back to your joy. Turn back to just feeling. If you're having a really rough day, and I'm telling you, some people in phase 4 are really, really struggling right now, waiting for the financial stimulus. They're struggling right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather together and help each other. we're going to gather together and help each other. You don't have to help 40 million people. If we each just helped 3, that's it. That's it. This whole thing would be so much easier to navigate. It would. It'd be much easier to navigate because we're going to need to think going forward in a different segment. Segment intending. Let me get back to that. What that means is from this point to what's coming next in the immediate future. That means my very next event. How do I hope it will go? If it's a challenging conversation, what I do is I'll go to my mastermind, and when I'm in a good enough place to do this, sometimes I'm not, but when I am, I'll go in and say, Holy Spirit, what is the highest and best outcome? And this is really important, I can't say enough about this, please be with me when I go do this. Because the duality that we're in right now, where our very best and our very worst are juxtaposed, they're coming together to create a new us. Now, that's an amazing experience. It's a new each of us because everybody has gone through something in COVID. It's a new U.S. It's a new country. It's all coming up to be healed. All of it. While it's not comfortable, I highly recommend that we all go after this opportunity and get the new us. Think of the things from the past that you're happy to let go. There are things that we are happy to let go of. Some folks are way happier working virtually than they are going to the office. Traffic's a lot easier. A lot of people are having less stress on the road. These small things can make such a big difference to help. But from this point, as schools are struggling to open, a whole faction of parents are going to be needing tremendous support. I highly recommend that you gather together a group of maybe 3 to 5 of you who can help each other along and just keep helping each other back and forth. Build teams, build like group teams that help us get through this. Teams for resources. If you have an excellent service, barter it for someone else's excellent service. I'm bartering now with my hairdresser. I'm psyched. It's really, really fun. It's an old school way, but it's a new way that's working in this new time. I'm not saying any of it's easy. Honestly, very little of it is easy. But what comes when we put in incredible effort to shift and to change? And 2.0, we call it, who do we want to be? Who do we want to be? And in this time, this is the coolest thing. Our light, when it's in a more turbulent, darker time, our one match is brighter and stronger than ever. One match. So even though these are really challenging times, the opportunity when we choose our light to go out there and light it up is met with some really fine recruitment that I'm not sure I've seen before. And when that darkness comes, yes, it can feel like the wave of the perfect storm. It really can. It can feel that way for me. Overwhelming. When you watch too much news, when you see cities on fire, it's like, I don't recognize this. But we each have a fire inside ourselves that we can tame to. And it might be that one, I'm sorry, that one call for forgiveness, that one, it's been beautiful to have our time together, but our time is complete. And it doesn't mean when things are complete that we don't have to say, wasn't it great what we had? Because what we had, if it altered our head and heart permanently, it's in our very cells. It's in our very light forever. For all things are ephemeral. All things change. The only thing eternal is actually love. And the love from the great Creator and our mastermind. So I'm wishing you a great day today. I'm wishing us all to turn in, ask ourselves what really matters, and then tune it up with some lovely conversation, some self-care, a nice walk in the park, a conversation with a friend who cracks you up, something crazy silly. Bolster yourself. And then when you look out to the world, bring what you have to it. Let's not let the world wash us over. Let's bring what we have to the world and light it up. Because when we know that we're light, we know that we're light. We know it. And when we bring that one little match, and I'm talking about to the girl at Dunks, to somebody who has like a cool outfit, you know, to someone you might not even say something to, if you feel that, hey, there's a new conversation coming, dive in, let's try it. Because one thing that we underestimate is a thing called the silent majority. Do you know that almost always, no matter what level of social media platform you reach, only about 10% of the people who watch ever click or post? 10%. 10%. There's a large silent majority. The majority. So it would be really fascinating if so many of us in that majority started to like tune in and be like, wow, I am a radiant light, part of this cycle of nature, given an opportunity because of Mastermind and my imagination or my spidey senses or my deep connection with Holy Spirit, that I know how to proceed as that light. And what would that look like if we knew we were the light of Holy Spirit as us 2.0? Imagine what we could all become. Inside us is that amazing possibility. That's so exciting. I dig that. I do. When I think that Einstein only gained 12% of the mind's power, I want to dive in with Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden. I want to get at that, you know, and their premises, you guide it. Your mastermind will reflect everything outside you. Now, I'm not saying that's easy because we have beliefs deep down that really affect us, and sometimes we're not sure what they are. The great news is if you feel a trigger, it's bringing up something that probably has an opportunity to heal now. Now, I'm not saying the trigger feels good. It does not. But let's not turn away from it at this time because the healing can be fast. Faster than in regular good times. So I'm looking forward to those opportunities. It's rigorous. We're in a longer haul. So self-care is really important. What started as a sprint, we're thinking, 2 weeks we're down. This is a new life. This is us 2.0. This is the United States 2.0. This is spiritual world 2.0. This is bring it Holy Spirit to this planet 2.0. This is like, God sends. And we're it. We're it. Let us never forget. The little bit we each have is so much when we piece it together. If you think of a super dark piece of paper and then poke it with little lights. Do you remember that game Light Bright? Well, I'm really dating myself now, but there's a thing called Light Bright. And basically it's this black paper and it's all these little bits of light. And as they each start to turn on, each one is so powerful, so transmutes that darkness so quickly. We are each a little light bright. What do we want to light up? Each single one of us has a very specific, excellent gift. Some of those gifts we might not even know what they are yet. In this new 2.0 time, we might not know what the gift is to bring. So let's enjoy that discovery as best we can. It is the thing that'll keep us lifted when it goes kind of crazy. It will. So I'm just wishing you all the best. I'm going to head out to some family brunch, and I'm just wishing you the best this week. Thanks again for being with me. It's really fun to share these ideas. It's really fun to see your names all come through and pop up, and it's fun to see you look on and during the week. And don't worry, watch as much or as little as you can. It's all great. And I'm just wishing us all the best, because the flip side of all of this could be our highest and best selves emerged. A more spiritually fortified, loving world. A place where Holy Spirit is really seen, like we can interact day to day in the mainstream. And a country that was once born out of the relationship that we said was with God, with the inalienable rights. And my hope is that everything that's coming up now, all of the movements, the sincerity of BLM comes up, and that we all heal to one race. There are some factions inside that are causing violence, I feel, trying to manipulate its true message. Hold the light, hold the love. People right inside the heart of that, you have every blessing. Hold the light. But if you see something taking it out dark, protect the light at all costs. This is the last thing to say. We protect our light at all costs. Because right now, our little matches, our flares, our torches, the light of Holy Spirit rocking this planet is needed. It's needed. And we need it in ourselves first. So have a great time. Tend to your mastermind, learning more about what is truly you. My hope is that it's a beautiful, joyful experience, and that it brings you peace that surpasses understanding. I really hope for that for you and for me. And again, thanks for being here. Have a fantastic Sunday, and I will catch you next week. Thanks so much, folks, from the church that's always open, and that's you, and that's me. Take care.